Today we are taking a journey into the world of animation, science fiction, and rock music with the 1981 cult classic Heavy Metal. But this time, we're shining a spotlight on the talented artists and illustrators who brought this film to life. This Canadian adult animated science fantasy anthology film is not just a movie, but a journey into a world of imagination, filled with bizarre and fantastic stories. So, if you're ready to embark on this cinematic journey, buckle up as we delve deeper into the world of heavy metal. Heavy Metal is a Canadian adult animated science fantasy anthology film directed by Gerald Potterton. It's based on the original art and stories from the Heavy Metal magazine. Metal Hurlant and Heavy Metal are key names in the realm of graphic science fiction, known for publishing numerous high-quality comics. Given the success of Star Wars and the resurgence of science fiction as a popular and profitable genre, it's no wonder that someone thought of adapting these comics into a film. This is where Ivan Reitman, a young Canadian, steps in. Until then, he had produced successful films like Ilsa, the Tigress of Siberia, and Animal House. He has also directed comedies like Meatballs and Stripes. Not too long after, he became even more famous with movies like Ghostbusters. So, Reitman was not originally from the animation field. His approach wasn't bound by any pre-set rules from big studios. Leonard Mogul definitely considered this when he proposed the project to adapt the work of the amazing artists from the Heavy Metal magazine into animation. Reitman even went to France in an attempt to secure movie rights for several comics published in Metal Hurlant, but unfortunately, he didn't succeed. At first, the script was planned to use Arzak as the main structure for the movie. However, when Jean Giraud didn't give permission to use his characters, they had to discard that script. He ended up recruiting other leading artists like Christos Achilleos, Neil Adams, Howard Chaykin, Richard Corbin, Angus McKee, Mike Ploog, and Bernie Wrightson. Some of these artists had their work published in Heavy Metal. The artwork in Heavy Metal is a blend of various styles, reflecting the unique artistic vision of each illustrator. Each segment showcases the distinct style of its respective artist. The production of Heavy Metal was expedited by having several animation houses working simultaneously on different segments. This collaborative approach resulted in a rich tapestry of visual styles and narratives, making Heavy Metal a unique cinematic experience. Heavy Metal is also renowned for its soundtrack, which is a heady mix of rock from some of the most popular bands and artists of the time, including Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Sammy Hagar, Don Felder, Cheap Trick Devo, Journey, and Nazareth, among others. The music not only complements the narrative, but also adds another layer to the film's overall appeal. Despite its initial mixed reviews, Heavy Metal has gained a cult following over the years and has had a significant cultural impact. It has influenced a number of later projects in the realms of animation and science fiction, and even spawned a sequel titled Heavy Metal 2000. Soft Landing. The opening scene is based on a comic with the same name by Dan O'Bannon and Thomas Warkentin. It starts with a space shuttle orbiting Earth. The shuttle's doors open, releasing a 1960 Corvette with an astronaut inside. The astronaut then starts descending through Earth's atmosphere and lands in a desert canyon. Grimaldi. In the main story, the astronaut Grimaldi comes home and is welcomed by his daughter. He tells her he has something to show her. When he opens his case, a green, crystal-like sphere comes out and melts him. The sphere introduces itself to the scared girl as the sum of all evils. Harry Canyon. In a future New York City in 2031, taxi driver Harry Canyon talks about his day. He complains about his customers and how he often has to stop robbery attempts with a disintegrator in the back of his seat. He ends up saving a red-haired woman from a gangster named Rudnick, who killed her father. She tells him that her father found the Loc-Nar, and they've been chased by people trying to get it. Den. This part is based on a character created by Richard Corbin. A nerdy teenager finds a green meteorite near his house and adds it to his rock collection. During a lightning experiment, the orb throws the teenager into the world of Neverwhere. There, he turns into a naked, muscular man named Den, short for his Earth name, David Ellis Norman. Den sees a strange ritual and saves a beautiful woman who was about to be sacrificed to Uhlut-TC. Captain Stern. This part is based on a character created by Bernie Wrightson. On a space station, Space Captain Lincoln F. Stern is on trial for many serious charges. Despite his lawyer Charlie's advice, Stern pleads not guilty. He explains that he expects to be found not guilty because he bribed a witness named Hanover Feast. B-17, a World War II B-17 bomber called the Pacific Pearl, goes on a difficult bombing run and gets heavily damaged. All the crew except the pilot and co-pilot are killed by gunfire. As the bomber slowly returns home, the co-pilot checks on the crew, finding only dead. He sees the Loc-Nar following the plane. He tells the pilot and goes back to the cockpit when the Loc-Nar crashes into the plane and brings the dead crew members back to life as zombies. So beautiful and so dangerous. Dr. Anrak, a well-known scientist, goes to the Pentagon for a meeting about strange mutations happening in the United States. At the meeting, the doctor tries to downplay the occurrences. When he sees the Loc-Nar in the locket of Gloria, a beautiful stenographer, he starts acting strangely. A huge starship drills through the roof and abducts the doctor and accidentally Gloria. Tarna. The Loc-Nar, now the size of a giant meteor, crashes into a volcano on another planet and attracts a large crowd of curious people. As they start climbing the volcano, it erupts and green slime covers the crowd, turning them into an evil barbarian army. The mutants then attack a nearby city of peaceful scholars. In desperation, the city leaders mentally call the Tarakians, a once powerful but now declining warrior race with whom the city had a pact, but the city falls before the call can be answered. A beautiful but mute warrior and the last of the Tarakians receives the summons. After preparing herself ritually, she and her bird mount fly to the attacked city, only to find the citizens dead. Determined to avenge them, she starts following the trail of their killers. Christos Achilleos. Chris Achilleos, a painter and illustrator born in Cyprus and based in Britain, is known for his work in fantasy art and glamour illustration. He was hired to work on the animated fantasy movie Heavy Metal, which is considered one of his most well-known pieces. Chris didn't just create the movie poster, he also designed the appearance of the film's female hero, Tarna, and her loyal flying mount. This iconic image is still featured on the cover of the film's DVD and video releases that are available today. Richard Corben. Richard Corben was asked to collaborate with the movie sequence originated on his characters, but he declined. He did a model sheet for Den character, though. Animation is made without his touch, and it is unfortunately evident. Characters are clumsy and the leading character simple-minded. The story is taken from the original comic story, Den. Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson first created the character Captain Stern in the late 1970s. The character's inaugural adventure was initially developed for Tyrannosaurus Press in 1977, and it finally got published in the Heavy Metal magazine in 1980. The original story of Captain Stern was later adapted into a segment. Juan Jimenez, the renowned comic book artist from Argentina, is well known for his intricate machine-like illustrations. He contributed to the film by working on the design for the Harry Canyon segment. Angus McKee, the English illustrator, known for his work on the covers of many science fiction paperbacks in the mid-1970s and 1980s, also contributed to the Heavy Metal magazine. He both wrote and illustrated a story called So Beautiful and So Dangerous. This story was later adapted into a segment for the film. This film, with its unique blend of animation, science fiction, and rock music, continues to captivate audiences even today. Its influence on the world of animation and science fiction is undeniable, and the artists, illustrators, and animators who worked on it have left a lasting legacy. From the dystopian New York City of Harry Canyon to the mystical world of Tarna, Heavy Metal takes us on a journey through a myriad of bizarre and fantastic stories, all tied together by the malevolent Loc-Nar. It's a testament to the power of imagination and the limitless possibilities of animation.